Welcome to the latest edition of New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our assignment desk, otherwise known as my Compost Heap. Let's see what stories we're working on this hour. Well, firefighter Matt Walsh wore a better helmet than this one when he rappelled down 40 feet from East Rock's cliff to rescue two stranded dogs. Way to go, firefighter Walsh. Well, they're handing out cards at Sunset Ridge, a 312-unit low-income housing development on the east side of town, owned by an out-of-state landlord who has slum properties throughout the country. The Connecticut Tenants Union has been organizing there, and they've been barred by the owner from the premises with threat of arrest. The owners claim that a union all these people I've never heard of already exists there that's friendly to them. The Tenants Union says it's a sham and they want a real union. The outcome of these distribution of cards and see how many people signs it will determine who's right. Well, people in New Haven's Beverly Hills and Upper Westville have their mops out in buckets a lot because there's a lot of flooding there for a whole bunch of reasons. And their foundations are flooded. And that's why some of them traveled across right over the Woodbridge line on Fountain Street to speak out against a proposal to build 96 apartments on Fountain Street right after you get past the Woodbridge line. Now, of course, people in Woodbridge are against it because they're NIMBYs. They moved to Woodbridge so they won't be near people. But there was an interesting debate about this week that the Independent covered, where two groups of New Haveners have different views for interesting reasons. New Haven City Plan Department issued a letter supporting zoning relief so this can be built, saying we need more housing in the suburbs, in places like Woodbridge. We need affordable housing, which has some of it here. And this is a classic case how you have to let people do that. And then there are people who are always mopping up their houses to say this is going to create more flooding, more erosion. And to me, that showed how this YIMBY debate, yes in my backyard, build, 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 which in general we all embrace, will always come down to difficult decisions where in many cases there are legitimate concerns people have on both sides. We're going to be following that one, interesting case. Well, when this is over, I get back to listen to music. One of the joys of life, and so appreciative to the recording artists who make the music so we can listen to it, but how did they make a living? Well, in these days, it's not the boombox, it's streaming services like Spotify. And I found out this week from our correspondent, Izzy True, went down to DC to support a new bill being introduced, that the musicians get only 0.3 of 1 penny every time Spotify plays their songs, if they have the copyrights. You can't make a living like that. Congressman Tlaib from Michigan has a bill to raise that. Let's hope that people start marching to the right tune in Washington on that one. Boo! Did I scare you? I was trying to be a gentrification vampire in honor of 3/5, the New Haven Independent commenter, one of the OGs on our site, who coined that term and many others because he loved public debate. He had the pulse of the city, loved to mix it up with people. And from the day we started, the New Haven Independent, he and the late Rebecca Tercio, Cedar Hill resident, would comment every day passionately. People would love to agree or disagree with him, just know what they thought. It elevated the concept of readers and citizens becoming a crucial part of our news with the new online news media. Terrence Shard, 3/5, died this week at the age of 70. I know I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss bumping into him. I'm gonna miss the joy he brought to the public square and how proud he was as a Buddhist, vegan, black nationalist New Havener who cared about people and cared about our city. I'm so appreciative to the commenters who still read us every day and tell people what they think, and I know our readers turn to them to agree or disagree with them, mix it up, and keep democracy alive, whether it's Heather C. or City Yankee 2 or the whole bunch. Thanks for keeping Cedar Hill resident and 3/5 spirit and tradition alive. Until next time, this is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary. Remember, always pick up and recycle our trash while we still can.